Hey, welcome back everybody to another dicondissectional production hosted by Dethstrok9. This video is going to be a little bit different. My dad wants to, we just want to talk a little bit. So,
How
hi.
you doing, Legion?
Yeah. Hello.
So we are going to entitle this video Fireside Chat or the State of the Union with Dethstrok8, Dethstrok9.
State of the Union. That's interesting.
State of the Union. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Or, yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to title it yet, but we'll see.
So
we're going to do something a little bit different.
Sure. So we have seen a lot of your guys' comments over the last few months, and a lot of people have requested that I've come back on your channel with you.
Yes.
So we would just like to tell you some of the things that are going on with what Daniel's doing and what we're doing as a family. When I say as a family, I mean what Daniel and I are doing to enjoy some of this great music. Would you say that our music listening experiences have been increased?
In both quality and quantity, yes, they have, by far. We are listening to music pretty much on a daily basis, just all types of music. And yeah, it's been interesting. It's a shared thing that we have that was there before, but now it's like there even more than it was before, and it's really cool.
So do you want to talk about some of the things that have changed our music listening experiences?
Sure. First of all, we were sent a record player.
We were sent like a vintage record player.
Yes.
That had speakers actually built in to the record player. So my wife and I, we were fortunate enough to be able to purchase a house about 4 or 5 years ago. And my wife said, you could design the basement room however you want, but you can't have any speaker wires showing. Like before, I would have surround sound all over the place, and there was speaker lines everywhere.
Yeah.
So
that was when we were renting, right? Like in the
that's
in
correct.
That garage room, side room thing. Yeah.
So probably for the last 5 or 6 years, we have been relegated to listening to a lot of our music in the car.
Yes.
When you were fortunate enough to be able to purchase your new computer, which Daniel bought himself, which was awesome, thanks to a lot of you guys.
Yeah. Yep.
One of the things that I wanted to provide you with was some good listening experience. So I bought him some Bose speakers that hook up to the computer. So we've been listening to a lot of the music
just on the computer. We've got 2 Bose speakers on either side. I would use them in my videos, but by using speakers, it would recompress the music because it'd be going back into the microphone. So we just have another. That's also why I don't listen to records on camera as well. It's just better to have it go from YouTube through this thing. Just to answer some questions about that.
So, and we have listened to reaction videos prior to you making your channel.
Yep.
And there have been certain individuals that have listened to it through the speakers, and there's a quality issue when you do that.
Mm-hmm.
But me and Daniel have been discovering newer music, or even older music, through his Bose speakers. But just so some backstory, Daniel does have a P.O. box, and I'm responsible for picking up the stuff at the P.O. box.
That is correct, yes.
So the P.O. box, when Daniel signed up for it, was probably about 3 or 4 miles from my job. So it made it convenient for me on my way home to just be able to swing by the P.O. box every 2 weeks or so and pick up whatever you guys have been gracious enough to send him. So one of our wonderful supporters sent us this vintage little record player with some speakers, and we listened to a lot of the records that you guys sent us that way, and there was something missing. We certainly got the gist of what we were listening to.
Yeah.
But there was certainly, we were losing the dynamic of the music listening to it that way.
Listening to it on the built-in speakers on that record player. So then we got an email from the guy who sent them. He said that he like got one for himself as well and was like, disappointed in the actual audio quality of it. So then it's Dave King sent another one. A different type of record player.
Not only did he send a different type of record player,
he also sent speakers, like much better speakers to go with it that were external speakers that hooked up to the player. And also like a thing to take the audio from the record player digitally into the computer and stuff. So it was definitely an improvement.
He sent us a Sony bookshelf stereo with 2 speakers. The benefit of this bookshelf stereo that he sent us was it was 2-channel, which is an awesome way to listen to a lot of records, right? Because it is a mono type setting. Mm-hmm. So from our old home, I had a little surround sound that was probably $100. I picked up the speakers, and I would have like 5 different speakers hooked up to each output. Mm-hmm. So while we had 2 channels, we had probably 3 or 4 speakers hooked up to each channel.
Yes, that's correct. I remember.
So we were listening to Pink Floyd.
That's correct. Yeah, we put on "Wish You Were Here" like right after I reacted to it, and we like had the record out of the packaging and everything, and I think we were just right over there, right? And I'm like laying on the floor, kind of, and we just listened to it, just like, eyes closed, just listening to it.
The song specifically was probably a 15, 20-minute song.
Shine on You Crazy Diamond.
Shine on You Crazy Diamond. I was laying on the floor and I was immersed in this wonderful music. So I enjoy music, as Daniel enjoys music, but I'm not that well versed on a lot of different music. So while I've probably heard Shine On You Crazy Diamond, when David Gilmour goes into some of his guitar solos, I was just like, Daniel, there's got to be more to this, right?
Yeah.
We're selling ourselves short. So, and that was probably 3 months ago.
Yes.
So I went on a journey, a pilgrimage, if you will,
yeah,
to upgrade our stereo system. And Daniel and I discussed it, and we decided that we would split it.
Yeah, jointly try to get like speakers, like big, cool speakers.
I ended up at Best Buy, and I bought a Yamaha 2-channel receiver with some Klepsch R51 speakers. The difference was night and day.
Yep. We hooked it up to the record player, and it was...
So the record player got plugged into the amplifier and the receiver. And again, I took some other speakers and hooked them up to a 2-channel system.
The ones that you had down in the garage.
And we were listening, and it was much better, but it wasn't what it was supposed to be. So we read a lot. Daniel especially reads a lot of comments. Mm-hmm. And what do most comments say when people are listening to music? Who else listens to their music?
Who else listens to their music? What do you mean by that? I'm just sorry.
A lot of comments on YouTube say, not only do I listen to music,
my neighbors, yeah.
So we were listening to music and we were like, our neighbors can't hear this.
Well, okay. So he started doing a lot of research on YouTube and on the internet in general, just trying to learn more about what types of speakers there are, what the different, settings and different everything that goes into making an informed decision on what we would want or what we would need for that. Yeah.
So we came up with a Denon receiver that is a 7.2.2 channel receiver. So that means that I'm able to hook up 2 subwoofers. I'm able to have 2 ceiling type speakers. And then I'm able to have a surround sound type music.
Yeah.
So we went to the store, we split it, and we chipped in. We bought this Denon receiver. We bought these speakers. We bought some clip speakers. We got some bookshelf speakers. We got some floor standing speakers. And we got a subwoofer. What did we do after that? What was really the first thing that we listened to that really stood out to us?
Would that be Dark Side of the Moon?
That would be Dark Side of the Moon.
Yes. Okay. So someone was another PO bot. Again, thank you so much. Like, yeah, I don't. Every time I don't even know like what to say. It's very touching. Thank you very much. All right. So someone sent a Blu-ray disc of Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd.
It was a box set.
It was the box set, right? And it had a 5.1 version of the full album. And we put that on. And we were in the middle of the room. What do you call it? You call it the sound stage.
I call it the sound stage. So prior to that, Daniel and I, we spent probably 3 or 4 hours, would you say, setting up this surround
system?
You did
a lot of it.
You helped me, though. You helped me get in the house. You helped me unbox everything. And we worked together as a team.
All right. All right. But yes, it did. It took some time to get. So it was a build up. It was a build up with some anticipation, and then it was very. Yeah.
It certainly was a build up of anticipation, knowing that we were going to have a multi-channel system going. So since then, we got one Blu-ray that was 5.1. How did it sound?
Absolutely phenomenal. It was really, really, really cool. Actually, like sitting in the middle of the room, and then just right off the bat, like right at the beginning of Dark Side of the Moon, you hear these footsteps, right? And when I'm listening to them in the headphones, it sounds like they're in one ear and then they move to the other. With this setup, it started like on the ceiling and then went down and then around us, you know? And it was just so surreal. You said a few different times, it feels like Pink Floyd is in the room with us putting on like a concert. And it was quite an experience that I'm glad that we were able to share together.
I'm glad we were able to share that. And since that point in time, we've looked up a lot of Steve Wilson, who is one of the most.
Yep, Steve Wilson.
He is a master.
He remasters music and knows how to put it into the 5.1 or the. He really knows how to work with music, especially prog music.
So I downloaded an app called Tidal, which has all of Steve Wilson's 5.1 or better remastered music, and it's just.
Dad has been listening to music at least once a day for how long? I mean, how long has it been? I don't
probably
even know
3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I've come home from work. Daniel's sitting at his computer. I put on music. We listen together. But the main point of the story is that you guys encouraged us to move along this path.
And to upgrade our experiences, basically, you know. And it's really cool, all of the positive things that have come from, you know, doing these videos and making this channel, all the memories that have been created from it, all of the videos that we've done together, the videos I've done with my sisters, you know, the videos where, you know, mom's in the background, all of the new bands that we've discovered, you know, like I was just saying, I just reacted to Jethro Tull's Living in the Past compilation album, and I was saying, you know, my dad loves this group now, you know, like we had no idea who they were, and then it was like, it's awesome. So, yeah.
Not only did we discover a lot of music that you guys have turned us on to, but we have, based off of a new listening experience.
We've been listening to more other types of music too. Lots of music. All types of music. I've also been even just on the computer listening to all different types of genres of music, because you guys kind of, encouraged me to step out of my comfort zone initially with everything that I've reacted to on this channel, and it's kind of made me want to continue to do that. And I've been actively searching for different types of experimental or independent or just all different types of genres of music, just to challenge myself, basically. And it's
what are some of the cool. So one of the bands that really stuck out to me, there's two specifically, and listening on this bigger sound stage experience, and that's ultimately what it's about, to get the full understanding of what the artist is trying to convey to us.
Sure.
So when you do it in your car, you got 4 speakers. Now we got 7 sets of speakers, and we can really get a more diverse understanding, not only what the artists were trying to convey, but the engineer, when he's mastering it, what he's trying to, the sound he's trying to get. And one of the interesting things is with some of the Beatles music, we hear Ringo playing in a certain area. Then you might put on something a little bit different, and you hear the drummer playing in a different area.
Yeah.
So not only are we enjoying the music that we're hearing on a much bigger stage, but we're also having a better understanding of what the engineer who's mixing this music, what he's trying to convey to us.
Yes.
And it just adds a different level to the music that we have been listening to.
Yes, definitely.
Let us know in the comments below, how do you guys listen to your music? Do you guys listen with headphones on? Do you listen with some 2 speakers? I'm sure a lot of you guys have lots of surround sound. One of the benefits of the surround sound is it's also Dolby Atmos. So we've been watching movies in a totally different light, and you hear just a totally different sound from watching a lot of these movies with the sound that it's intended to be. So to change the subject a little bit, Daniel, what are some of the things that you've been working on here recently?
Well, I've been doing a lot, actually. In case you guys have been wondering, I kind of took a bit of a break from uploading videos on here for like a week, I think. Let's see. I have been trying to record my own music. That's going okay. I'm learning a lot through that process. I've also been working on a short film, which I'm going to be uploading on my other YouTube channel.
What's your other YouTube channel?
Dethstrok9. The name of the other YouTube channel is Dethstrok9. It's going to be it's interesting. I'll probably post a more in-depth description of it once it's closer to being completed. But we are doing something very soon, which I'm very excited about. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go, but we're going to a studio, to try and record music. We booked a couple hours it's next week that we're going to be going. And I'm going to go to the studio. I talked to the guy who owns it. It's like a pretty independent and newer one called Diamond Studios. Talked to the guy who owns it. He was really nice, very supportive, and seemed very interested in working with us. He wanted to, I told him I'm trying to make my own music and that I have software for doing it. He wanted me to come in early so he could show me some stuff about mixing and mastering things. I have a few songs that I want to try to record. I'm going to go for just one. We'll see how that works, how it turns out. I'm very excited to do that, and
So again, this whole situation comes full circle with the surround sound music that we've been listening to, and a lot of the records. We've listened to so many records that we never even heard before. Maybe a song or two we knew of the artist because they were played on the radio. But there's certainly a joy and there's a certain ambiance when you put a record on a record player and you drop the needle and you sit down and you just listen to the music.
Definitely.
So over the last few weeks specifically, we have listened to Blood, Sweat, and Tears. We listened to Simon and Garfunkel live at Central Park. We listened to Peter, Paul, and Mary. We listened to Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. What's the album? Evil Carnival 9.
Yeah.
Right.
Carnival.
So when we are able to listen to this music and understand the engineering process that goes behind it, so now we're starting to get layers to the music. So Daniel and I are going to be going to the studio in the next few days, and he's going to have the opportunity to record some music. But the owner of the studio also asked Daniel if he'd be able to stick around and watch the engineering process that goes behind making the music.
Yep.
So we're going, Daniel especially, because this is something that he aspires to do.
Yeah.
He wants to be a content creator, whether that's music, whether that's movies. I mean, really.
I like doing all of it, to be honest. And then with this new project I'm working on, it's still a rough draft and might end up being like an experiment that I'll like do something similar in the future after learning a lot from the first experience of doing it. But I'm trying to like connect all of them, like make a central storyline that has the short film or web series, if it turns into that also has music that goes with it, and like short stories that go with it as well, and they all kind of go together. So we'll see how that goes.
So something else, as you're discussing this, probably about 4 weeks ago, Daniel had the opportunity to act on a smaller production, and the guy was very impressed with Daniel. So Daniel, probably about 3 years ago, wrote a script for a short story.
Yes.
And the guy wants to produce it. So,
I'm so excited for that. If that ends up happening, I'm going to lose my ever-loving mind. So I don't know when that will happen. We don't know if that's even going to happen, but I wrote a short film a while ago, like a scary or creepy one. And this guy who we've talked to a couple of times, who gave me the opportunity to work on one of his short films that he was making. I'm reiterating what you said, but I'm very excited that he said that he liked my short story enough that he would want to turn it into a short film, like a real one, and produce it and everything. Because I would not be able to do that on my own, at least at the point I'm at now. So it will be a very interesting experience if that does end up happening. So yeah,
and there's a very good chance of that happening. But the short film that Daniel acted on with this individual, there's already stills out from it, and it's going to be coming out pretty soon.
I'm going to make a video. I might even react to it. Like, if I won't watch it when it comes out and just make a video looking at it.
So it is a short video, probably a 5 or 6 minute video. And you guys out there, the Legion, will have the opportunity to see what Daniel's working on, aside from just making reaction videos.
Also, one last thing, I have been recording lots of reaction videos over the past 2 days, and have like 15 or 16 in like they're like uploaded but not published, so that I can roll them out as the days go by while we're doing all of this.
So one of the things Daniel was telling me is that he feels bad that there was a few days where he couldn't upload videos, but he is working on something else. That with these YouTube videos, it's a matter of sitting down in front of a computer, listening to a 5-minute music video, sometimes more, sometimes less, and recording for 15 or 20 minutes and uploading and publishing, correct?
Sometimes there's editing, but I try to streamline that as much as possible. So yeah.
What's the difference in recording your own music?
Oh. There's not even any. There's almost no similarity. It's a totally different kettle of fish, if you will. I have this software called FL Studio, and it's very different. Just very, very different, and it takes a long time to put everything together and stuff. But
so, is it safe to say, while you do enjoy entertaining your Legion with reaction videos, your ultimate goal would be to entertain your Legion with original content?
Yeah, that would be correct. I know that there's some people on here who probably wouldn't care too much for that. That's totally fine. It makes, sense. This is a reaction channel. But I do hope to, incorporate other types of, entertaining you guys, and maybe eventually transition into doing, other type stuff. Who knows? Yeah, but I like making reaction videos too, so,
I enjoy watching reaction videos, and he's my favorite reactor.
Of course I'm your favorite reactor. I'm your son. I mean, you may be just a touch biased.
I'm certainly a touch biased, but I learn more from your videos than I do from 98% of the other reaction videos out there. And that's one of the things that not only draws me to your videos, but I think draws a lot of your viewers to your videos. I think when it comes to the educational aspect...
I try to be educational, especially to myself. I try to educate myself.
But in return, you're also educating your audience. And me being your dad, I greatly appreciate that. But not only am I your dad, but I'm also a viewer. I subscribe to your channel. I try to support you. And I learn more than I would have ever learned based on the fact that you've been doing this almost a year. So over the last year, I've learned more about music than I have in the last 20 years. I appreciate that.
It's almost been a year.
Yep.
Yeah, and yes, thank you very much for saying all that. I greatly appreciate all that. But yeah, it's crazy that it's almost been a year. I didn't even really notice that. Wow.
So, I guess the point of us having this fireside chat, if you guys like this, we could do it more. If you don't like it, I'm sorry.
They would have clicked off by now if they didn't like it.
A lot of you, the people that support Daniel, have encouraged him to dive deeper into the whole aspect of listening and enjoying music. Whether that's an upgrade with some computer speakers, whether that's an upgrade of our turntable and our surround sound system. This started out as a young man who was 16 years old listening to some Maynard stuff. And how much knowledge do you think you've gained over the last year based on whether it was records that your Legion sent you or support through other people? Think of the leap that you've made over the last year based on the encouragement of the Legion.
Wow. It's interesting. It's really cool, actually. Thank you. I don't know if I've said that. I've probably said it a couple of times, but yeah. I don't always think of things like that, so that's a very positive way to look at it. I like it.
And I've been on your channel a few times, multiple times, and I greatly appreciate the Legion. I want you guys to know that the effort that you put behind supporting Daniel, it encourages him and enriches him to move a step further and a step further and a step further. Some of the gifts that you've received have helped you increase the quality of your videos.
Oh, yeah.
But also increase the knowledge. So now you just uploaded...
Which one?
Dethstrok9.
The Living in the Past?
Living in the Past, which...
I had it.
Okay, you moved it.
Yeah, sorry.
But Living in the Past is an album that somebody sent you.
Yes.
While you didn't listen to the album on the record because you were reacting to it.
It's a big yet there, but,
You had the album, the discs in the album. You add the cover art. You add everything behind what you needed to really fully understand
Everything
the
that
music
they
you
were.
were going to be listening to.
Yeah.
And that is thanks to supporters like you guys that support Dethstrok9 and the Legion. I know that I'm grateful, and I know that Daniel is grateful. We've been talking now for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Hopefully you upload it.
I'm going to. Don't worry. Yeah,
Awesome.
Of course.
That's great to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, before we started, he was like, "You don't have to upload this if you don't want to." He said that he had some thoughts that he wanted to talk to me about, and yeah, I really appreciate you just coming down and asking me to do this, because yeah, it was it's helping put things into a good perspective, I guess. So thank you.
Well, and that the main thing is keeping a positive perspective in whatever we're trying to accomplish.
Sure. Yeah.
A lot of times it's easy to get burnt out on whatever we're doing, but we got to keep a positive perspective and push through whatever the negative mindset that might be thrown in there. We got to combat that with a positive aspect and move past whatever hurdles or obstacles that are thrown in front of us. Again, I do expect great things. While I don't know exactly what it's going to be, I know that with your hard work and your dedication, you're going to accomplish great things. And the Legion is looking forward to seeing what you have in store for them. We greatly appreciate you, Legion. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching this. We greatly appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Stay tuned for more videos. Stay tuned for a couple more announcements as we do recording stuff, or when I eventually upload my short film. And thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
Can't wait to do another reaction with you.
Peace and love.
Yes.
Peace and love.